Today, we will review a total of 6 developments that have happened in the peer-to-peer lending industry since my recent portfolio update. As in previous videos, I will break down the most important happenings, share my personal assessment, as well as provide some additional background information. Before we get started, a quick reminder regarding the upcoming community voting, where you can rate your experiences with a total of 30 peer-to-peer platforms on a scale from 1 to 5. So far, 165 investors have submitted their ratings, and you can do so as well until April 28. You can find the link for the survey in the video description below. We start off with Heavy Finance, a platform yet to issue any carbon credits for their green loans product, despite promises to do so in Q1. However, the platform has recently announced the reasons for the delay. According to Heavy Finance, the reason being is the increased growth in the market for carbon credits, which is why international verification agencies such as Verra, with whom the platform is working together, are currently overloaded. According to the new timetable, the validation and verification panel has now scheduled an on-site visit to Lithuania for May, with a final report expected in September. This will then be the final step before Verra's result validation, which will then lead to the issuance of carbon credits. Although this delay seems somewhat annoying, it was clear from the get-go that this product would require more patience from committed investors anyway, since the entire loan period would be up to 4 years regardless. Next up, let's have a look at the long overdue decision of the Twino group to finally exit their lending activities in Vietnam and the Philippines. With their decision, Twino is now following the path of Robocash and the Aventus group, which exited from Vietnam already a year ago due to regulatory uncertainties. With regards to Vietnam, Twino comments about a growing number of repressive measures against companies providing lending services. As a result, a decision was now made to quit joint venture Vamo, which was set up in collaboration with Via SMS Group some years ago. At the same time, Twino also announced its exit from the Philippines, whereby this step is seen as a strategical withdrawal from the Asia-Pacific market, allowing to allocate more resources on services in other areas. This seems like a sensible and quite understandable move, as in previous months there have been hardly any assets from the Philippines on Twino, and the portfolio there seemed somewhat small anyway. A reason for concern might be the potential of upcoming pending payments, which is hinted at by the end of the blog post. After personally reaching out to Twino, the platform assured there are currently no signs of delays, which is why Twino assumes that repayments will be made on time in line with the loan terms. Hopefully, this will be the case for Twino and its investors, as further pending payments would raise the question why the platform has put investors' funds at risk again for such a long period of time, while experienced market players have exited the playing field a long time ago. On the other side, positive news came from AvaFin Holding, which recently published its financial figures for 2023. Last year, AvaFin reported a net profit of 7.8 million euros, with an increase in revenue from 68 to now 97 million euros. At the same time, the equity position has grown to 32 million euros, and the equity ratio remains at a presentable 28%. The report has been audited by BDO and in accordance with IFRS standards, so no major objections from my side. Also, ITF Group, one of 3 core pillars on Income Marketplace, has recently published its business numbers for 2023. The Bulgarian lender, which financed almost 17 million euros via income in the last 2 years, mostly with an interest rate of 15%, currently has an outstanding portfolio of 3.2 million euros, which corresponds to around 30% of the open portfolio on income. The annual report for 2023 reveals a generated profit of 1.1 million euros, which almost doubled the result from the previous year. At the same time, the net portfolio grew from 8.3 to now 11.7 million euros with an improved equity position of 5.2 million euros. In the last episode of the Income Insights podcast, Income founder Kimmo also spoke about the decreasing interest rates at ITF, which he believes is the result of an increased demand for the assets of the Bulgarian lender, which can now afford to finance their loan book for a cheaper price.
I would say ITF has been for a very long time kept 15 as a principal in itself. So I think investors have enjoyed perhaps a higher rate than the quality of the company would warrant.
Let's switch to Lande for a second and review the latest performance report, which was shared for March 2024. The performance report reveals that Lande was able to finance 39 loans worth 1 million euro in the previous month. However, the performance and in particular the recoveries continue to decline. Currently, Lande has 50 loans in the recovery process, which represents 9.3% of the outstanding portfolio if already paid back loans from the past are excluded from this chart. In March, another 10 loans were transferred to the collection status, but on the other hand, only around 9,000 euros from defaulted loans could be recovered. According to the information from the report, Lande apparently made some adjustments and improvements to their collection processes, which includes new procedures and new team members. On a small side note, my personal IT problem at Lande is yet to be fixed, which is why I recently withdrew another 500 euros coming from repaid loans. Last but not least, let's take a look at Debitum Investments and their recent lender signing. Juno Finance is a Latvian lender which provides loan financing to SMEs in the forestry and agricultural sector. The lender, which is a subsidiary of the 2016 founded joint stock company Juno, offers loans on Debitum with a term of 6 to 24 months and an interest rate of up to 15%. After talking to Debitum CEO Henris Janssons, I found out a few more details. For instance, that Debitum had already worked with assets from the new lender at an earlier stage via sandbox funding in order to check Juno's payment behavior or disclosure of information, which apparently seemed good enough to now onboard the lender fully visible. I also figured that Juno wants to initially finance around 1 million euro via Debitum before they decide on deploying further loans. That's all I have for this week's industry updates. If you found this video helpful and you would like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye bye.